My name is Arvind Varsani, and I'm a virologist who travels around the world studying viruses in different ecosystems. I grew up in Kenya, which is in East Africa, and I spent most of my life, childhood, in the outdoors there. It's just being in the outdoors that was a pretty important thing for my research, and I've married my hobbies with what I am interested in from a academic angle. I miss the people of Kenya. I miss people smiling. I miss the brightness of all the clothes and just the people. I wear a lot of African prints in terms of shirts, and kitenge is a very, very beautiful pattern that I love. And I try and make my own clothes every now and then, but a lot of the times now I just buy them. I take a lot of the art from Kenya when I travel around the world. For example, I have a necklace that is inspired by the Maasai, and I've made it myself with beads that I bought here in Arizona. Moving from Phoenix to the Antarctic is a chalk and cheese contrast in the sense that you're going from the desert to the cold. But the main similarity is that both places are very dry. The research there is kind of interesting because we're in a remote place with about 300,000 pairs of breeding penguins, and we're working with the animals, we're observing the animals 7 days a week. So I'm part of a bigger team that is doing behavioral studies and breeding success and climate analysis there. And my angle there is mainly looking at viral diseases in these animals. We're looking at all different types of viruses. We're not necessarily looking at the viruses in these animals from a disease per se angle, but viruses are pretty much ubiquitous in nature. And as a result, some of them are pathogenic, others are benign. My group is very interested in evolution of viruses and how viruses have evolved over time, the dynamics in ecosystems. And so we're studying them from a completely different angle than most virologists study. Most virologists will study viruses from a disease angle, and we're not studying them particularly from a disease angle. The most interesting aspects of the viruses are the mechanisms they use to evolve, the sheer diversity of the viruses, different shapes, different sizes, and it's an amazing microbiota that we have out there. So I think the biggest problem comes in is the knowledge. Is We don't know much about viruses or other organisms. Where with macroorganisms, we've got a good handle of all the different species, etc. With viruses, we've got a library that is almost 90% empty, so we don't know what's in there.